We will start this class with search algorithm, and what we'll do is linear search. When you search things linearly, that is linear search. For example, if there's an array, okay, let me say an array is equal to 1, 5, 3, 2, minus 1, 4, 5, 7. This is an array of numbers. Then you want to search for an item in this array. Okay, you want to search for an item in this array. Let's assume you want to search for a 2. You want to search for a 2. How do you search? The first thing is to access each element of the array. Each, that is one by one, isn't it? Access each element. And how do you access each element of the array? For loop. Does everyone know that? So that means what should come to your mind is what? Is for loop. So if you now access each element, so what will be the first element? 1. What are you searching? For 2. What are you supposed to do? To compare 2 and 1, if they are the same or not, isn't it? So that is compare each element with the search value. Is this understood? So how do you compare each element with the search value? How do you compare? If. Good boy. Good job, everyone. If. Are you all following me? Good. Then, the third step. When you compare, is 1 equal to 2? If it is not equal, are you supposed to end search or continue to search? You go to the next element, right? So, you now compare 2 with what? With 5. Is it the same? No. You go to the next search. You compare 2 with? Is it what you are finding? Is that what you are finding? No. You go to the next. Then you now compare 2 with? Is that what you are finding? Then you now return that you found it. Is that understood? So you can return a message indicating it has been found. So after finding it, what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to quit or continue searching? So if the element is in the array and you are seeing that the element is in the array, are you supposed to search everything? What are you supposed to do? Just break out of it. Is that understood? Once the question asks you to what? To just confirm that it is there. Just break out. Why are you breaking out of it? You don't need to search every other thing, because what if there are 1 million items in this array? If there are 1 million items, that means after finding the 2, it will continue to find other items. It has seen that it is there, right? It will not stop. It will continue to what? To find everything, which will lead to what? Time wastage. Is that understood? Good. Does everyone understand this? Okay, good. So like I said, if we have many items, like 1,000 items or 10,000 items, if 2 is at the beginning here, we are so lucky, because it will take less time to search. Once 2 is found, we break out of the loop, isn't it? But what if this loop 2 is not there? Let's assume this is 8, and the item 2 is at the 999 item. That means we have to search for a long period of time before it is found, which will take time. So linear search is easier and faster if the search item is at the beginning, right? But it is more difficult and slower if the search item is what? At a far end. Is that understood? when you find the item, you're supposed to exit the loop, right? To prevent you from what? From searching, since it has been found. Why do you need to search everything? Since it has been found. But you may need to search everything if the question wants you to search the number of tools. Do you understand? What if if there's a 2 here, if there's a 2 here, once a 2 has been found, if there's a 2, once you have found a 2, that's all, you are done. Is that understood? You are done. But if the question wants you to return all these positions of 2, that means you don't have a choice. You have to search everything, isn't it? That means you won't have to break. Is that understood? You won't have to break. You have to search everything so that when you see these 2, you return the position or the index, right? What is the index of this? This index is what? 0, 1, 2. Index what? 3. Then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Index 9. You continue. Index what? 999. So if you are asked to return all the index of 2, that means you search one by one and return all the index. Is that understood? So if you find a 2, do you have to break out of the loop? No, because you are asked to return the index. If you are just asked to check if there is a 2, are you supposed to break or not break? Break. I hope you guys understand this concept. Good. Now to illustrate linear search, then I will solve this problem. You solve, I do the correction until we are done. Okay? So while you do solve, I do the correction, you mark what you have done, you tell me your score, then that's what we'll do till the end of this class to illustrate what I just explained here in this concept of linear search. Okay? Good. Now, here is the question. You guys know what the instruction is, isn't it? So let me go to the question directly. It says a program needs to take string values as input and then search for a specific string, isn't it? You're searching. The string, now a program needs to take this as input and search for a specific string. Is that a question? Are you supposed to type? It is just an information. Students make mistake and they start typing immediately. They don't even know what to type. And by the time they get to the question, the time is over. They don't know what to do. And you see them crying that they couldn't finish their work. The string values will be stored in global 1D array string data with space for up to 15 strings. The global variable item count stores the quantity of items the array contains. Are you supposed to type? Now, does the question ask you to type anything? Is this a question? It is not a question. It is an information. Do you understand? So you are not supposed to start typing because this is just an information. Write program code to declare string data and item counts. Now, is this a question? Now you can type what the question just says. You will type what the question says, just taking the useful information in what has been written and not trying to do it over. You are asked to declare 2 variables, just to declare. That means you should declare string data and also declare item count, not to find the length of an array. Because item count is saying that item count stores the quantity of items the array contains. So instead of students to declare, they will now start finding what? The length of the array. Is that what the question asks you to do? The length of the array is just an information. Is that understood? What does this mean? To declare, this question is saying you should declare string data as a global variable. Declare item count as a global variable and declare it with their data types. And that item count, what will be the data type of item count? Integer, because it's going to store quantity. And what is quantity? Integer. Data type of string data will be what? Will be a string, because the string is saving what? 15 strings. So when you are asked to declare, you are asked to declare the variable and data type. Is that understood? Do you guys understand what I just said now? So when we say declare, declare means declare the variable and its what? Data type. So you are asked to declare as a global variable. So the question, what is a global variable? Now let me explain what a global variable is. Now let me go back to this. Let me type this. Let me type x, or let me write number is equal to 5. Then I write def, find, find. Then I write number is equal to number plus 1. Then I write print number. Okay. Then I write out of the group. Then I write print. Oh, sorry. I write find. I called find. Would there be any problem with this code, guys? There will be no problem, right? Is there going to be any problem in this code? Okay, good. There is going to be a problem in this code, and I explained it when I was explaining functions. I said the variable outside of the function is not the same as that inside of the function. I hope I said that, isn't it? When I was explaining functions. Can you guys still remember that? Good. The variable outside of the function is not the same as that inside of the function. They may have the same spelling, the same case, maybe small letter or capital letter, but they are not the same. If I run this code, it gives an error. And what is the error? Cannot access local variable number. Because this number in this function is a local variable. This number outside of the function does not belong. Are you all following me? Does not belong to this function. They are not the same variable. They are two different things. So this is called a local variable because it is only in the what? In the function. And you cannot add 1 to itself because that number is not defined. Is that understood? So the only thing you need to do is to first and foremost define that number and say number is equal to 5. Then it is now defined. But in the function, the definition is not outside of the function. Is that understood? So if you now run this code, now it now prints the value and not an error. Is that understood? But this is the aim. The aim is to make sure that the variable outside of the function is also accessible inside of the function. So that means it will no longer be a local variable, it will now be a global variable. Is that understood? Is that understood? That means you need to make it a what? A global variable. So how do you make it a global variable? So how to make it a global variable is to type the keyword global, then number. Now it is now a global variable. So number is now a global variable. But you don't initialize it while writing that global. If you write global, number is equal to 5, this gives an error. The first thing is to declare as a global variable. And you know we don't declare in Python, right? Do we declare data types in Python? So for the sake of Cambridge exam, when you are asked to declare, write your declaration, the data type as a comment. Are you all following me? Write it as a what? As a comment for Cambridge. If you don't write it, you will lose mark for that declaration because other programming languages also always declare the variable with the data type. Is that understood? But we don't do that in Python. That means you must put it in a what? In a comment. So is number a global variable? Yes. What is the data type of number? Integer. Then you write a comment, integer. So we are asked to declare, write a comment as the data type. Is this understood? Is this understood, everyone? Good. With these code ones, no. But why is it no? Haven't I declared this as a global variable? Yes, I have declared it as a global variable. But why is it not running? Oh, Mr. Ismail must be lying. Let's run this code. Oh, it's not lying. It's not lying. Yes, you have declared global variable, you have declared number as a global variable, but it is still not accessible in the function, isn't it? That means that in every of the function you want to use number, you must declare it as a global variable before you start using it. So it is linked to the variable outside of the function. So that keyword global will form the link. Now, if I run this code, there will be no error, and I have my result as what? As 6. It is now linked to the outside variable. Is this understood, everyone? So that means if you declare a variable as a global variable, any function you want to use it, you must rewrite it as a what? As a global variable. Even if you want to use it in 50 functions, always rewrite it as a what? As a global variable. Then everything will be linked. If you don't rewrite as a global variable, it will not be linked. It will be separate. Is that understood? And it is not compulsory you write it as a global outside of the function. It will still work, even if you write it only in the function. Can you see? It is not compulsory. But examination condition will ask you to do that because of the declaration. In this function, are we declaring? No, you don't have to write the comment. Is that understood? You don't have to write the comments as integer. But when the question asks you to declare, you must declare the data type by putting it in a what? In a comment. Is that understood, everyone? Any question? Any question? Then back to the question. Now let's go back to the question. It says, a program needs to take string values as inputs and then search for a specific string. The string value will be stored in global 1D array. And don't forget, it says that if the programming language does not support arrays, a list can be used instead. Okay, good. You've seen that instruction, isn't it? So it says the string value will be stored in a global 1D array string data with space for up to 15 strings. The global variable item count stores the quantity of item the array contains. Write the program code to declare string data and item count. It's a 1-mark question, and that is 2 minutes. Do that now, everyone. So that should be global string data, a list of 15 strings. Global item count, integer. That's all. How many of you got a full 1 mark? So like I said, you can make this out an empty list. Is that understood? Okay, good. Let's go back to the question. Now back to the question. Question B. We are done with question A, right? Immediately you are done, please don't forget. Copy this code and put it in what? In your evidence document. Don't wait until you are done and you have 5 minutes more before you start copying. Look at what does the question says. Save your program. Copy and paste your code in the evidence document. Do that instruction. Don't skip. Many students will skip. When they are now done with everything, they will now start copying one by one. They may mistakenly copy 1B in 1A and lose the mark for 1B. The next question. The procedure setup. What does procedure mean? It means a function. They can call it subroutine or procedure or function. Is that understood? It may be called subroutine, procedure, or function. Everything still in Python is function. In other programming languages is something else, but in Python they are all function, whether subroutine or procedure. Is that understood? The procedure setup, that is a function, prompts the user to input the quantity of strings the user would like to enter. Reads the input. Are you supposed to type? When are you supposed to type? When you say write. Is that understood? So read, understand before you now write. Prompts the user to input the quantity of strings the user would like to enter. Reads the input and validates it is between 1 and 15 includes, that is 1 and 15, they must input 1, 2, 3 up to 15. They cannot include 16 or -1. Is that understood? Or 0. You must validate. You must make sure that the input is what? 1 and 15 inclusive. Prompts the user to input each string. Each string. I repeat, each. What does each means? One by one. Not everything separated by space. Not everything separated by comma. Is that understood? One by one. And if you want to do things each, what should come to your mind? For loop. Prompts the user to input each string and store each string in what? What is string data? The global variable you've declared. Write the program code for what? How many marks? And that is 10 minutes. So I've used 5 minutes to read the question for you. Now you have 5 minutes to solve.